This is the Scrap Metal Commodities Recycling and Economic Report by BENLEE and Raleigh Goldsboro Recycling, May 14, 2018. Last week, commodity prices and economic reports were mixed. U.S. steel production rose slightly and remains ahead of the last 2 years as the global economy remains pretty good. Oil rose to $70.40, hitting a new multi-year high as the U.S. announced it will withdraw from the Iranian nuclear deal. We will add that the higher effect of gasoline prices on the consumer here is a concern. U.S. oil production hit a new high of 10.7 million barrels per day. Higher oil prices are hurting consumers but are helping Wall Street as U.S. oil companies are profiting from these higher prices and higher pumping rates. Iron ore rose about $1 to $68 a ton on a good balance of supply and demand and on a good global economy. Scrap steel heavy melt number 1 prices declined as reported, showing now at about $343 a gross ton, more than double about 2 years ago. Global markets remained solid, so there was only a small decline. Hot dip galvanized steel remained at $1,200 a ton, a multi-year high as demand remains steady and as steel mills seek these higher prices. Copper rose 3 cents to $3.11 on little news that would affect prices, yet it dropped back about the same amount, 3 cents, this morning. Copper remains off the multi-year high of a few months ago on this 5-year chart. Copper inventories have been falling on good global demand that is slightly better than the copper production. Aluminum fell about 3 cents to $1.03 on continued good demand and remains near an almost 6-year high, helped by tariffs. Aluminum LME inventories fell, remaining near about 8-year lows on solid demand and good supply. China's vehicle sales continue to climb to about 2.5 million a month or 30 million a year versus about 1.4 million a month or 17 million a year in the U.S. A truly outstanding global economic story. China's April exports increased 12.9% over last year, recovering from a 2.7% decline in March. This was way above market forecast of a 6.3% gain, supported by solid global demand with aluminum and steel exports remaining high. April's U.S. inflation edged up to 2.5% from 2.4% in March. Matching market expectations was the highest rate since February of 2017. Core inflation, which excludes energy and food, was flat at 2.1%. On a monthly basis, consumer prices went up 0.2%, rebounding from a 0.1% drop in March. May's U.S. consumer sentiment was steady at 98.8. Preliminary figures pointed to a small uptick in near-term inflation, a fall in income expectations, and the stabilization of the unemployment rate at decade lows. U.S. job openings hit a record high in March of 6.55 million, with professional and business services and construction in the lead. While on the subject, BENLEE is hiring skilled welders as we hit yet another new record backlog last week in the company's 44-year history. If you know of a welder looking for a job, have them call us. May's U.S. Economic Optimism Index rose 1.9%. This is a 6-month forward-looking view of how consumers feel about the economy's prospects, with people feeling good about personal and federal government policies. Wall Street's Dow Jones Industrial Average had a great week, up 567 points to 24,830, led by strong gains at Apple and the oil companies. A great economic indicator. As always, feel free to call or email me with any questions, and we hope all have a safe and profitable week.